Can you believe I've got bored with reflections? No, don't panic. I haven't lost my mind completely. It's, I don't know, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. The light is quite harsh. And I need to get a mono long exposure image sorted for a challenge. I'm not a big black and white landscape person. So I thought, I don't know, I'll go to a quarry. And my immediate thought was Dinnerweed, because I keep promising myself I'll go and have a nosy around it, because I've watched Jason Jones's vlogs and it looks a fabulous place. But then I spotted this place in my research, Cwmorthin. I think that might be right. So I thought, oh, come over here. It's near Blaenau Festiniog. And when I got here, I thought, I recognise this place. And I've been here about, it's got to be going back 5, maybe 6 years with Andy Sheeder, Mark, Berry and Ian, and I think possibly Robbie as well. And I didn't think much to it, because I was in my, I don't get landscape face. I don't know how to do it. Give me a butterfly or a bird or a motorbike and I'm much happier. I was having a right grump while we were here. Now I've just got a long exposure going, so just give me a second. That's better. So yes, as I was saying, I really didn't like it before, and I'm still not 100% convinced that I can get anything usable here. But I'm having a go. And it's a really strange feeling here. So I've walked up from the lake, which you can just see down there, and there is a lovely old chapel. Now you may not see that because of how the light is, and it's kind of guarded by 2 Scots pine trees, and we have a lovely winding path. But what I really wanted to include was the slate fencing. I think it's the wrong time of year, because we have all these reeds. Now going for long exposure is great for the sky. We've actually got, not sure you'll see that, some fairly good movement in the clouds. But it also means these are getting blurry. But having looked at how the image has turned out, I'm quite pleased with it. So, I'm not sure I can show you this. Whee! In a very precarious position as always. So I've basically got the slate fence, the rushes, a little bit of the pathway, and then leading through to the 2 Scots pines and the chapel. And I think it works. As I say, it's going to be, ooh, sorry about that. It's going to be a black and white image. And I've seen another shot here, just using the track. The sheep around here are making very funny noises. You know how your phone sounds when it's on vibrate in your pocket? They sound just like that. Very strange. So this image, anyway, was f13. 14mm. Oh, the ISO at 160. I don't know why I had it at 160. It should have been at 100, but never mind. And each of the exposures that I did were roughly 36, between 36 and 46 seconds. And it's almost a shame that it's going to go black and white, because the first one I took particularly, the sun actually popped out from behind the clouds up there and put some gorgeous light on these rushes. So I may well leave one as colour and not worry about the fact that that is out of focus. The interest is here, and this is the aim of the image. Right, it's a lovely day. It's really overcast and cloudy, but my God, it's warm. And I'm beginning to think this is quite a nice place to come. And I am completely bamboozled as to why we have this phenomenal amount of slate just laying around. B&Q and Wicks and stuff sell it for, I don't know, 10, 15 quid a bag. And we import the bloody stuff. It's laying here doing nothing. I don't get the logic. I know maybe they can't mine it again. Maybe because it's Britain, it is too expensive to mine. But surely somebody could come up with some brainwave to ship out all the loose stuff, turn it into chippings. You keep B&Q going for about 10 years. Anyway, enough of my rambling. Catch you in a minute. I've been wandering along looking for anything sort of interesting in terms of ironwork, and all of a sudden the wind dropped and I was over on the far bank. The wind died right off, gorgeous reflections back to these two little buildings. So I set up and by the time I set up the wind had picked up. So I packed away and I've wandered around this side, and the place is just a mass of huge lumps of slates with lichen growing on them. You can see down here the different coloured lichens in amongst the reeds. And as I say, I've been looking for stuff that would make good foreground. Hello! In the absence of reflections. And I seem to recall seeing some old ironworks up here last time. I may be wrong, but I think it might have been a pair of wheels or something like that. Something very obviously left open from the mining days. I've not managed to find anything in a position that I want it. And the wind died off. So I've come down, I've set up for a long exposure with a bit of detail in the sky, and the wind's picked up. Can't get my breath. So I think the wind is coming and going in, I don't know, 10 minutes. It took me about 10 minutes to wander around here because I kept stopping and looking at things. So I'm just going to wait patiently for the wind to die off again, which I'm sure it will. And the bizarre thing is, when I was over there, the wind was going that way, sort of down towards the valley. Now over here, it's going that way. I just don't understand. There's an abundance of wildlife here, loads of little birdies, and I think I heard that flipping cuckoo again earlier on. And then there's the odd sheep grazing, but there's the remains of, I'm presuming they're old slate mine buildings, industrial buildings rather than workers' buildings. Over on the far bank, that looks like it, if you can see them, that looks like it might have been the remains of a miner's home. As I say, there's a very strange feel to this place. It's very barren, varying shades of grey, contrasting nicely with the green, but I think probably autumn, when the grasses and the greenery turns oranges and browns, I think that complements or even contrasts better with the grey. And there's just a splash of colour. I think it's a hydrangea bush in pink, which works quite nicely with the grey. And obviously, as every garden should have, two bright green bags of slate chippings. That might be disappearing. So from here, I'm just going to wander back down the hill. There is one more shot at the bottom which I've seen. I don't know if it's doable or not. There's a lovely waterfall. This lake reservoir flows downhill in a series of falls, and the majority of them you can't get to. It's too dangerous. There's big signs up saying that it's undermined, the path is undermined, it's liable to subsidence. So clambering down is probably not worth the risk. But at the bottom there is a huge waterfall, so I'm going to have a go at photographing that. And then I'm going to head for home. I was going to stay up for tomorrow morning, but I've looked at the forecast, and unless it's changed drastically from about 2 hours ago, it doesn't look like there's going to be a decent sunrise. So I may just head home. I am feeling a little bit weary. 4 days with very little sleep and being out in the fresh air has kind of wiped me out. So I hope you've enjoyed this little run around Wales. It's nice to go new places, have a look at new things. Some you win, some you lose, some things work, some things don't. And there's always that next time I'll go and I'll do this or I'll do that and it'll be better. So yeah, I've had a good week. So thank you for watching. Thanks for all your comments. Thanks as always for the subscriptions, it's fabulous. Any comments, pop them below. I shall try not to pick rave music anymore. Somebody got very upset with me for choosing rave music on one of my earlier vlogs. Anyway, it's a good job we don't all like the same things. So anyway, I'm going to sign off now. See you all next week. Bye!